I want you to make more mistakes. I want you to understand that better judgment comes from making more decisions, quicker decisions. Better judgment does not come from waiting. And that's why I want you to make more mistakes. The word temporize, which is a verb, means to avoid making a decision or giving a definite answer in order to have more time. Which, when you think about it, seems to make sense, because if we wait and we have more information available to us, surely we can make better decisions. What determines good decisions from bad decisions? Taste. How do you form better taste? You make more decisions. You build better taste through learning from past decisions. Future good taste is formed based on good and bad choices from the past. And bad choices should teach you more than good ones. And that's why I want you to make more mistakes. Not because I want you to fail. Everyone should enjoy their successes. But don't get carried away. Don't claim to know more than you do. And always remember, you're a lifelong learner. Stay humble. When things go well, share the plaudits with your teammates. And when things go poorly, I want you to calm down, raise your hand, and own your part in the failure. Because failures resulting from bad choices are learning opportunities. And there are 3 types of mistakes: avoidable, complex, and intelligent. And to simplify, in short, we want to avoid making the same mistakes, but making new ones. That's where growth happens. Needless to say, not everyone is going to encourage you to make more mistakes. But I'm asking you to do the tough thing, and in the short term, you can cope with superiors and peers giving you side-eye when you talk more about your mistakes than your successes. Eventually, you'll come to understand psychologically safe spaces from psychologically unsafe spaces. And when future job interviews happen, you'll care more about joining a learning company than a well-paying company. Making ends meet in a safe space that prioritizes growth and learning is a career accelerator you need to be part of. The shine of a well-paying job in a toxic company will wear off quickly, and unfair as it may be, I'm asking you to prioritize learning over money. And when you find a safe space to do so, make as many new mistakes as you can in that safe space. By definition, that safe space should have a good leader who will encourage learning more than they encourage efficiency. Because efficiency demands correctness. You need to be able to do things right in order to do them quickly. And that's why it's more important, especially earlier in your career, to be decisive than to be correct. Because in the messiness of mistakes, that's where learning happens. And that's why you're there, trying to be the best professional you can be. Besides, being right is overrated, and people who value correctness learn at a slower rate, preferring the comfort they know to the possibilities of what could be. And again, you do not build taste by delaying decision-making. You don't build taste by temporizing. And taste is what all the best professionals have. Taste is what we're shooting for. And later in your career, you want to have and be known for having excellent taste. Taste is what you lean on. It's your instinctiveness that you can call on when you don't have all of the information necessary to make a good decision. And earlier in your career, you're not going to have this, which is absolutely fine, because later in your career, you will. In order to build it, you need to acknowledge your ignorance and pay attention. You need to learn from new mistakes that shape your pattern matching ability, because intelligence in its most basic form is just pattern matching. You build your library of instinctiveness for pattern matching by making lots of new mistakes. Prioritizing correctness is short-term thinking. Delaying decisions is a bad habit you need to avoid, because the benefits of decisiveness compound over time. The opposite is also true. Avoiding decisions worsens your ability to be decisive and makes your taste weaker. to temporize hard decisions is understandable. If we have more, newer information, we can reframe compoundingly complex decisions. But perhaps if I reframe my request from things to people, maybe it will be more obvious, more explainable. It's easy to understand delaying a decision on a thing until we have more information that's more relevant and makes our decision-making more robust. But think about people. If instead of making decisions on things, we delay making decisions on people, that's more relatable and more problematic. Delaying decisions on people is hard to forgive because you've been in that situation where someone is delaying a decision about your future. And each of us have equipment that is honed over millennia to determine how we feel about people. And we're often indecisive through cowardice. No one likes giving bad news. So instead of giving bad news, we delay. And sometimes that's kindness, but often not. Because every time we delay a decision about another person, we degrade the respect that we've built. We weaken the relationship. It's not an easy thing to get your head around, this idea of making more mistakes. But I hope you make some good mistakes today that you can learn from and which hone and develop your sense of taste over time.